Hey, for those of you who just joined us today, my name is Coach Azlan. I am your coach for the P6 Foundation on Saturdays from 10:45 to 12:15. Okay, while waiting for the coach to pass us the notes. So basically, uh, we agreed last week that we are going to do the checkpoint test today. So it's okay for some of you if this is your first lesson. Uh, Basically, foundation subjects are pegged at P4 level, which means that you would have already experienced. Okay, so need two more for now. Then if Pavesh comes, then we need another. Yeah. Right. So that being said, pages is 23. Yeah. That being said, um, it shouldn't be something that you're new to. It should be something that you've seen before, especially in P4 and P5, if you have taken standard in those levels. Okay. Now, which school are you from? Fuchun Primary. And did you take foundation in P5 or standard? Oh, so you've been taking foundation. So maybe for you, this is something that is new. Okay. But the rest of you, you should have seen it in P4 lah. Right. Talish, okay? Are you all warm? They usually set it at 24. Let me know if it's too warm or too cold. Okay, so the first half of today's lesson will be 45 minutes. We'll be going through the decimal portion. Then for the second half of the lesson, it will be a checkpoint test. So around 35 to 40 minutes. Okay, all good. Is it harder? It, it is not hard. It is challenging. Challenging in the sense that if you have remembered the steps, then it would probably be okay for you.
So if you don't know the questions, you skip.
You can skip, but hopefully you can come back to it at the end after you finish the rest. All right. Any other questions? No? No. Okay, so just a quick introduction for those of you who are new. This is Ira. Okay, that's Naila. The new one for everyone, this is Naura. Do you prefer Naura or Amanda? Naura. This is Adam. Then that's Talish. Uh, Iza and Inshira I always mix up. So that's Iza, right? This is Inshira. I don't think any of you are from the same school, but yeah lah. I know why you all are sad. No? Because next Monday school start already. Okay, for the two of you, in fact, wait for the coach to pass you which one, because he's still printing. Because he only knew last night there was 3 new students on. So it's still printed uh, for the rest first. Okay, so decimals. What do you all know about decimals? Hello, Mohammed. Didn't see you there. Oh, Mohammed is our online student. In case you're wondering, if sometimes I talk to the screen, I'm talking to Mohammed. Okay, well, next Monday start school. At least not yesterday. Yesterday P1 only what? So your P1 secondary. Yeah. So have you all given a thought to which secondary school you all want to go to? And what school is that, Talish? Where you live? Oh, okay. VPGHS is good.
Hurry!
You remember him from your one lesson that you were here. At least you have a friend. Rest of you should make friends as well. VPGHS, good school. Swiss Cottage is on the rise. Lah. Other than that, in Choa Chu Kang, what other schools is Kranji? I don't know. Is there still Teck Whye Secondary?
Yes, there is.
Have. Still there. How about the rest of you? Nora, which school have you chosen? Don't know. Where do you live, Nora? Woodlands. Woodlands has a lot of schools. Right? You got Woodlands, got Marsiling, got Emerald, Evergreen, Riverside. Yeah. I'm guessing Riverside is the best. Or if you don't mind traveling, there's Ahmad Ibrahim and Yishun. Ira? Probably some school in Sengkang. Don't know. You live Sengkang, right? Oh, where you live? You don't know where you live? Okay. All right. It's okay. She wants it to be a secret. Yeah. Let me just check. Everything is okay before we start. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna start on decimals. Those of you who don't have your notes, just hold on first. Right. We just talk a bit about decimals now. So the topic of decimals. So if you look at your mathematics syllabus, you will start with whole numbers first. All right. From whole numbers, we then learn fractions. From fractions, we then learn decimals. And we will learn percentage. Okay. By right, you would also learn from fractions the topic of ratio. But this is special because foundation has no ratio. This is only for standard. All right. But ratio works the same as fractions. Lah. In fact, if you are good at fractions, your ratio shouldn't be a problem. Okay. So we're moving on to decimals, which is the next iteration of fractions. All you have to understand is if you understand equivalent fractions, then decimals will be quite simple for you. In fact, if you remember from the fractions chapter before this, we actually learned how to convert from fractions to decimals. You still remember which numbers we want to turn the denominator into? Calculator. Not numerator. Which number do we change denominators to in decimals? Okay, the easy way to remember is the word deci actually stands for 10. Right? So we're looking at the family of numbers that have to do with 10. And we're changing decimal conversions. We are always changing into tens, 100, or 1000. Okay? This is something interesting I learned when I was in university. I always thought no matter which culture in the world, we will always use 10 as our base. Base meaning from 10, the next number would be a version of 10, where 10 plus 1 equals 11, right? But we write it as 1, 1. We don't write it as a new number. What? Like if you look at 1 to 10, right? Oh no, 1 to 9, 0 to 9. None of the numbers are repeated in the way they are written. Okay, but when we reach 10, 10 is made out of 1 and a 0. So scientists have hypothesized or guessed that we use 10 because most of us have 10 fingers. I say most of us. I know some people who have 12 fingers.
11.
11, 12 fingers. All right. So most of us, we have 10 fingers. So it becomes easy for us to count up to 10. Then for that to count to 100 is also easy because we take 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, right? Then 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, all the way up to 1000. So it's quite easy for us to count if we have a base of 10. However, there are some cultures around the world that don't use 10 as their base. For example, if you know about the Mayan culture in South America, not South America, Central America. Basically, today, what is Mexico? They use a base of 12. That means instead of changing their numbers at 10, and then 10 becomes 11, they use 12, and then the next number is 12 plus 1 instead of 13. They don't have a number for 13. Then you have the Romans who, instead of using numbers to represent, they use letters. So that's why sometimes when you watch a movie at the end, you see a whole bunch of letters MCMX111. That stands for 2019, 1913. Okay? So different cultures use different types of mathematics. For us, we use decimals. Why decimals? Because it's easier for us to imagine the number 10. Okay, so whenever we are converting decimals, changing from a fraction to a decimal, we are always interested in changing the denominator to either one of these numbers. Can it be more than these numbers? Can. You can have 10,000, 100,000, 1,000,000. In fact, when you go secondary school and you have to deal with bigger numbers, then these numbers will of course become bigger lah. Right? But in secondary school, you will learn how to write big numbers in short form. That one is a bit weird. Okay. All right. So first one, expressing decimals as fractions. So when we want to express a decimal as a fraction, we are always interested in changing the denominator to a base of 10, 100, or 1000. So for these situations, I always want to remind you of these four numbers. Okay, these four numbers are important. These numbers are 1, 2, 3, and 4. Why? Because 4 times 25 gives us 100, and 5 times 20 gives us 100. Other numbers are simpler. For example, 10, okay, or 2 times 5 is 10. So most of the time, you will be given a denominator around these numbers. You will have 4, 5, 2. Will you get 3? I doubt so. You can only convert 3 if you're using a calculator. I mean, you can without a calculator, lah, but at your level, you will still need a calculator. Okay? The other one that they sometimes give, but I don't see often, lah, is this. So 8 times 125 will give me 1,000. Alright? So when we are changing a decimal to a fraction, depending on how many decimal places there are, that is the number you decide to divide by. For example, if we take a look at the first one, there's only one decimal place. You all understand what's decimal place? After the decimal point, this is one place. If after the decimal point, there are two decimal places. Okay, this boils down to when you were in, I would say P1, where you learn place values. Remember place values? All right. So we have a number in a certain place and it has a certain value. All right. So here, in this case, we have a number, we only have one decimal place. After the decimal point here, we only have one decimal place. So if we have one decimal place, we will write our denominator as 10. Easy way to remember, one decimal place, 1 0. Okay? Which means that if I have two decimal places, How many zeros should my denominator have? 2. So it becomes 100. Simple. So what do I do with the other number? The 3, I just put on top. The 45, I just put on top. That's it. That is the conversion of decimals to fractions. Okay? So it won't be some weird number where you have 327 as your denominator. You won't get it like that. From decimal to fraction, it's always 10, 100, or 1000. Do we have 1000? No, we don't. We only stop at 100. Okay? Now, for the first one, A, 3 out of 10, we don't need to simplify anymore. Alright? 10 cannot divide by 3, 3 also cannot divide by 10. In terms of simplifying the number lah. Alright? So we leave it as it is. However, the second one, C, 45 and 100, both of them can be divided by? Good. So what's 45 divided by 5?
9.
9. And 100 divided by 5?
20.
20. Okay? So now, since 9 cannot divide by 20 and 20 cannot divide by 9 to give us a whole number, we leave it as it is. Easy? Easy, yeah? Easy not, Iron? What happens if there's a number dot number? So you're asking about B, 1.5. What do we do then? Then, there's 2 steps you need to do. The 1 remains as a 1 in front. That means it's a big one. Whole number 1. Whole. 1 whole. Okay? So, what we left with? We're left with the 0.5. So, how many places is that? 1 place. So, how many zeros? 1 0. Where does my 5 go? My 5 go on top.
Who doesn't have the set of notes? Can you raise your hand, please?
The 3 at the back.
Yep. Yeah. Good. Yeah. I printed 8 sets of checkpoint test papers.
Okay, thanks. Understand? Okay. If I have to break it down now, let me break it down. See whether it's easier for you to understand. All right. If I were to break up 1 and 0.5, I will have 1 whole and I will have 0.5. Correct? Between these two, which one must change into a fraction? The 1 don't need to change to a fraction. Whole numbers always remain as a whole number, even if it is in fraction form. That means as a mixed number. Lah. So the only one that needs to be changed will be the 0.5. So if we were to change the 0.5, using the method that we used just now, I only have 1 decimal place. Which means my denominator will be 1 with 1 0. 1 decimal place, 1 0. 2 decimal places, 2 zeros. Okay? What happened to the 5? The 5 is my numerator. 5 out of 10. Now, if I were to add this back to the 1, I will have 1 whole 5 out of 10. Okay? Now, 5 out of 10 can be divided by 5 to give me 1/2. Can. Alright? So if I were to use example F, 2.4, same thing, I will be left with 2 and 0.4. The only one that needs to be changed would be my 0.4. And what is my 0.4 in terms of fraction? Anyone?
4.
Very good, Harith. 4 out of 10. So I will end up with 2, 4 out of 10. Then I can simplify this to become 2, 2 out of 5. When you're converting from a decimal to a fraction, just ask yourself the question, how many decimal places do I have? That is the most important question you should ask. Once you have done that, you can figure out how many or what your denominator should be. Okay, so I demonstrate to you again two decimal places. 0.75, I will have, very good, 75 out of 100. Two zeros because two decimal places. Then I can divide this first by 5. 75 divided by 5 should give me, okay, 20. 20 times 5 is already 100. 15. 100 divided by 5 is 20. So here I can divide some more. Divide by 5 to give me 3 out of 4. So what happens if I have a 0 there? 0.06.
Okay. 600.
6 out of 100. Very good. Okay, remember how many decimal places is how many zeros your denominator should have. Okay, then of course from here you just simplify lah. 3 out of 50. Easy. Okay, I think the problem is most of you should have is the simplifying one. You'll still have some problems changing from this to this, this to this, this to this. All right. I know it's a bit tedious lah. Tedious means it takes more effort, but to get full marks, you must be able to do that. So I'm going to skip G, H, and I. You can do that as homework. Okay. We look at J, the last one, because it is different. 2 and 0.08. So 2 whole, we don't need to change. All we have to do is change 0.08. This is the same as, what is the fraction for 0.08? Okay, 8 out of 100. Simplify 8 out of 100. Ooh, give away the answer. It's actually not the answer lah. You divide it, you get 12.5. So 2 can divide by 4, so you get 2 out of 25. Alright. No problem lah. Okay. They never cover conversion of fraction to decimal because they covered that in the last topic. So we're moving on to the 4 operations of decimals. This one is quite simple. It's just adding up numbers, but there is a decimal point there. Alright, so very quickly, I'll just go through with you. The important part is when you are writing out your working, is make sure they are in line. What is in line? Meaning, oh, no wonder the writing like that. Okay. Meaning, your decimal point should be in line, your 10 should be in line, your 1 should be in line, your 100 should be in line. Okay? So if you can make sure everything is in line, then it is not too difficult. So 5 plus 6 gives me 11, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1 here. So after I finish adding up, don't forget to write down my decimal point. Okay, so my answer will be 17.11. Easy? Let me see. Do we have enough? Okay, this example is one where we have both numbers have 2 decimal places. What if the number only has 1 decimal place? For example, C. So let's say we have 6.4. All right, so where am I going to write my 17.55? To make it easy, remember where your decimal point is. So I put my decimal point down first. On the left of my decimal point, I have the number 17. Right? On the right of my decimal point, I have the number 55. Once I have made sure everything is in line, then I can add them together. So 0 plus 5 is 5. Here will be 0 lah. Huh? Okay. Maybe I don't write in blue lah. Give it a different color. The pink means I've added it in. It wasn't there in the first place. Alright. But it's to show that 0 plus 5 gives me 5. 4 plus 5 gives me 9. 6 plus 7 gives me 13. And 1 plus 1 gives me 2. Which leaves me with the answer 23.95. Okay. So the rest of it is pretty much the same. Okay. D is the same as C, B is the same as A, E, F, G, and H are just extra practice for you all. So you can do that as your homework also. Okay. So next one will be subtraction. So subtraction, some of you may find it difficult, but just remember what we said about the decimal point. So let's say I keep my first number, 16.7. Alright, and I want to subtract 8.46 from it. So if I get confused, I write down my decimal point first. On my left of my decimal point, I have 8. On the right of my decimal point, I have 4 and 6. So I want to subtract. Okay, now there is no number on top of the 6. So I must add in a 0 to help me visualize the number. Then I start with borrowing. Because 0 cannot minus 6, I must then borrow 1 from the 7. That will leave me with 6 here. So now I have enough. 10 minus 6 gives me 4. 6 minus 4 gives me 2. Decimal point comes down. 16 minus 8 is 8. So 8.24. Minus. All right. So same thing for part B. Would you all like to try B? 29.3 minus 13.94. Let's try B. See how much you will get. Then, what's your answer, Ira? 15.36. Everybody got 15.36? No. No. Yes. No. 15.36. Don't know. Then what you write? Okay, let's see. 29.3 minus 13.94. So again, I have nothing behind the 3, so I must put 0. 0 cannot minus 4, so I must borrow from the 3. This becomes 10, this becomes 2. 10 minus 4 gives me 6. Second one, 2 cannot minus 9, so I again must borrow. Borrow from the 9, this becomes 12, this becomes 8. Okay, 12 minus 9 will give me 3. 8 minus 3, 5. 2 minus 1, 1. 15.36. Very good. Okay? Any questions about subtraction? No? The rest you can do as practice. Wait, before we move on to the rest. Let's look at E and G. 5 minus 3.1. So 5 minus 3.1.
2.1.
Why 2.1? 5 minus 3 is 2, then nothing minus 0.1 is 1. Like that. No. Subtraction is the same. We must still put a 0 here. Okay? Put decimal point there. So 5.0 minus 3.1. 0 cannot minus 1, so must borrow. This one 10, this one 4. 10 minus 1 is 9. 4 minus 3 is 1. So your answer should be 1.9. Okay? Same thing with F. But F has 2 decimal places instead of 1. So we have 4 minus 3.08. So for the 4, instead of putting 0.0, we must put 0.00. Okay? Now when we subtract, we must borrow all the way from the 4. So 4, this one become 10, this one become 3. Must borrow to the 10, to the 0 behind. So this becomes 10, this becomes 9. 10 minus 8 is 2. 9 minus 0 is 9. 3 minus 3 is 0. So 4 minus 3.08 will be 0.92. Okay, same thing with G and H, only now you have 2 digits instead of 1 digit. Okay, so 50. No, don't like so thick. 50 minus 22.67. All right. So 50 minus 22.67. 67.
What remains in 25?
Okay, so 2026, what? 89. All right. So we must put 2 zeros. So it's enough for us to minus off. Okay? So then we must borrow all the way from here. This is 1, this is 4. Okay? Borrow again. This becomes 9, this becomes 10. Borrow again. This becomes 9, this becomes 10. 10 minus 7 gives us 3. 9 minus 6 gives us 3. 9 minus 2 gives us 7. 4 minus 2 gives us 2. So it becomes 27.33. I just realized something. Why is the screen so small? What happened? Huh? Why does not the thing come up? Okay, H you can try on your own. Now we move on to multiplication and division. Okay, why did we this way is for you to see the relationship.
Like you do it normally.
Okay, I show you the first one, then I explain. So 5 times 4 is 20. 0.5 times 4 is 2.0. 0.05 is 0.2. So what is the relationship between multiplying two whole numbers, multiplying one decimal and a whole number, and one decimal to two decimal places times a whole number? What is the relationship? Anyone? 2 to 2. But they're not the same one. The first one is 20, second one is 2.0, the one is 0.
All times 4.
Yeah, lah, memang times 4 lah.
It keeps adding 0.
Keeps adding 0. Okay. How do I explain this? Can I say that? Would that confuse you even more? Okay, let me tell you what I'm thinking inside my head, and then you tell me whether you understand this or not. Now, when you multiply a whole number by another whole number, there's nothing for us to multiply anything. That means whole number, 5 times 4, 20. Okay? When we multiply 0.5 times 4, the 0.5 is actually, I cannot say like that. Can I say like that? No. Can I say like that? Yeah? Anything else, Oh, I get what I'm saying. But then that will make it difficult for you. Okay, never mind. Let's not waste time. Basically, the relationship is when we multiply a decimal with a whole number. Okay, for example, here 0.5 times 4. The example they give you up until here is quite simple because it's a single numbers. Then if you get 2-digit, it becomes a bit more difficult now. All right. So basically what it means is that every time you introduce one decimal place, your answer here, like here is 20, right? The decimal place will jump by 1. So one decimal place, it will jump 1. 2 decimal places, it will jump 2. 1, 2. So you can imagine here, if I were to write it, is 0.20, right? It was from here, 1, 2. Don't understand. Again, this is how many decimal place? 1. Okay, just now 5 times 4 is 20, right? Okay, maybe if I write it out again, hold on, So if let's say I were to write my answer, 20. Where is my decimal place in 20? It will be here, correct? But because I have one decimal place, the decimal point will jump one spot to between the 2 and the 0. So it becomes 2.0. Now, for the third one, I have 2 decimal places, 1, 2. I write out my answer again. How many times must I jump? 2 times. 1, 2. So my decimal point ends up here. That's why my answer is 0.2. Okay, we try with number B. 1 times 3?
3.
3. 0.1 times 3?
3.0. 3.3.
Okay, I do 3. How many decimal places I have?
1.
1. So my decimal point must jump 1 place in front to here. It becomes 0.3. The 0 is not supposed to be there lah. I put it there so that you can see the jumping part. Okay? Same thing, third one. 1 times 3, 3. How many decimal places? 2. So So I jump 2 places.
0.1.
1, 2.
0.03.
Then, easy. I don't know if you can remember all this. What happens if you can't remember? Well, if you can't remember, then you have to rely on your normal multiplication. So example 0.01 times 3. Okay. 1 times 3, 3, 0 times 3, 0, 0 times 3, 0. It's easy lah, but they wanted to show this way. So I have to explain it this way. Alright, very quickly, 8 times 9, 72. 0.9 times 8, 72. Jump how many times? 1 time. So becomes 7.2. 2 decimal places. 1, 2. Here, 0.7. 6 times 7, 42. Right? So 0.6 times 7, 42. Jump 1 place, 4.2. 42. 1, 2. 0.4. Okay, so far? This one quite simple, huh? Next, what if you have 2 digits? Don't worry, you never learn 2 digit times 2 digit. You learn 2 digit times 1 digit. So 12 times 4 is 48. 1.2 times 4? 48. How many decimal places? 1 jump 1. 4.8. 0.12 times 4, 48. How many decimal places? 2, 1, 2. 0.48. Sure. 218, 108.
Oh,
Right?
26 times 2. Is it 108?
Yeah.
How do you?
108.
1.8.
108. How many decimal place? 1. So jump 1. 10.8. The 0.36 times 4. 2 decimal places. 1, 2. 1.0. Okay, so you got a hang of it there. How many decimal place in your initial one is how many you should jump. Any questions? So you're going to skip G, H, I, and J. That way you can do is your homework. Right, this one is easier. This one is just jumping. So 0.8 times 10.
8 times 10. 8. 8 out of 10.
No, that's divide. 0.8 is 8 out of 10. Yeah. How? When we have to multiply with numbers that have 0 in it,
0.8.
times 10. Cannot be 0.8. What? 80. It has to do with how many zeros you see. Just now we asked how many decimal places, right? Okay, when we are doing this, we ask how many zeros there. 1 0, we jump 1 space.
8.0.
2 zeros, we jump 2 spaces.
800.
3 zeros, we jump 3 spaces. So what happens if it's not 10? It's 20.
18.
9 times 2 is 18. So 0.09, how many zero? 1 0, jump 1. So it becomes 1.8. Okay, I do again slowly. I think some of you is starting to get lost already. Okay. 9, okay, 9 times 2 is 18. Correct? Right? But My decimal point is in front here. And it needs to jump one space to the left because we have two spaces here. So from 18, it jumps one space to the left, it becomes 1.8. This one is the same as this one. Yeah. Okay, we jump to the left. Huh? So 0.09 times 200, I will again have 18, right? Wait. No, 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 no. Sorry, wrong. 0.09, not 0.9. Sorry. So I will end up with 0.18. How do I do this? 0.09 times 2 first. This will give me 0.18. Right. Then I times 10. 1.8, yeah. Oh, so it is 1.8. Oh, sorry. Oh, it's 20, it's not 2. Okay. Sorry. So 0.09 times 200. So 0.0, 0.09 times 2 is 0.18. There are two zeros in 200, so I jump 2 times. 1, 2. So this becomes 18. 0.09 times 2000 is 18, but I jump one more, so it becomes 180. Okay? So here there are two steps now. Basically, once I have done 0.18, I will then need to take 0.18 times. This should give me 1.8. Right? Then to get 18, I just times 10 again. To get 2000, I just times 10 again. Right? Any questions? The rest, multiplication and division, we will do next week. Right now is your break time. Okay. You can have your break for 5 minutes. Those of you who are new, break basically means after 45 minutes, we'll take a short 5 minutes break. Okay, you can have the snacks outside. You can drink the water cooler, or you can go to the toilet. What? Do you want to take a snack?
Like someone accompany. He's so dark.
Huh? Dark?
Yeah, so scary.
No. Yes, welcome back. Oh. Mm. Hey, 1 more minute. You have any questions now? So you all understand everything. Amazing. Nora, is there a Madam Fiza in your school? Is there a Madam Fiza in your school? Does she look like me? No, she don't look like me. How I know? If I ask you, does she look like me? They should tell you already about how I know. Do you talk to her?
She's my main class teacher.
She's your reading class teacher. The Wi-Fi no good tadi. Boy is ready now. Wait, so now. I'm good, darling. Madam, let's go. It's okay. You can come in first. Hey. before we start, let me just brief you on the test.
Aku lah.
Okay.
Right.
Welcome. Right. The test is 35 minutes. Right. You are only allowed to use a calculator for section C before you begin. Who don't have calculator? Only have 3. One. So you can share one.
Okay,
Don't share answer. Share everything.
okay.
So the first part of your test is not there, I see. The first part of your test, okay, no calculator, section A, section B, then section C, you allow use your calculator. Alright, it's based on honesty lah.
Saya
If
cakap
you
auto.
use
Auto like complex.
there you go. So for your name lah. Yes, your class is Saturday. First one here is Saturday. The time is 10:45,
Kalau kan yang kelas.
12:15. Yeah, 12:15? 12, no, 12:15. Wait lah, wait until everyone is ready lah. So you have
What's the time?
eh?
10:55. You belum.
10:45 is when for the topics. Ready? Okay, ready, can start now. No, I brought down the fan. Why now too warm? When did I take Sophia?
Even if question blank. Or we must do all.
Try to do all. Why you want to leave blank?
I'm
You should try because you don't know if whether the one you write down is correct or wrong. There's always a chance for you to get more.
forget the step.
Okay, do the rest first, later you remember.
I think have we learned the whole number expressed as a decimal?
In P4, yes. If you notice just now, the notes don't have.
Oh,
Are you at section C already?
yeah. B.
Then why you using calculator? B cannot use, only C can use.
Oh.
Ah. Next time ask them to separate the sections up. Whole number to decimal. There's no such thing as conversion of whole number to decimal. A whole number is just a whole number.
But this is expressed as a decimal. See the 70 out of 25. Yes.
Ah. Okay, yeah. Number want to express to decimal, change what? Ah, change to what?
Oh.
Don't worry if you don't know how to do that. Okay, just to let me know where you are and where I need to focus the lesson.
Prompting is the foundation of working with learning how to
Under what purpose was he draw model?
If it helps you to answer the question, yes. Even during PSLE, if they don't ask you to draw model, you don't need to draw. If you can answer without drawing.
What happened? Fractions coming.
Whole number. The whole number has a denominator of 1.
Oh.
Whole numbers have a denominator of 1.
Like fraction times or something.
Yeah lah. The number has a denominator of one. Yeah.
The whole.
Why you so cold?
Cause it's whole.
So next time you must sit at the sides where the aircon is not blowing straight at you. I will turn it down here. Yeah. Take turns lah.
Uh, how to do the fraction? It's like using the calculator.
There should be
So
the
you got tissue.
there should be the button, right? B over C button. Is it?
How is it different? Oh, for B too.
Oh, this one.
Padahal dah reset semua. Reset plus 9. Reset apa? Eh. Tenemos el experto.
Right, so you have 5 more minutes. Try to finish as much as you can. If you have skipped questions, please revisit them to see whether you have managed to figure out how to solve them.
Apa tu? Next week. Oh.
No, wait for them to come back first. Everybody suddenly want to go toilet, huh? Why? Toilet got answer.
Anya, how are you? We can make this. That correct. That correct. Right.
Three more minutes. You look so stressed now. Yeah. Please close the door down. Finish the.
You went holidays.
Huh?
You went holidays.
Huh? You want to give? Why? Scared of what? Nothing is gonna happen. Alright, if you're done ready, you can go because now it's already 12:17. Go off lah. But you have to give me your paper first. Those of you who have not finished, you have 2 minutes left.
Right.
Oh,
Homework, right?
calculator, put it down. Those who borrow the calculator, please return it to the card. You have 1 more minute. Okay, bye-bye. See you next week.
Teacher, teacher.
Yes.
What happens if I done? Like, what about my paper?
Okay, your paper, you do on that one.
Yeah.
You do on paper. So you need to come down to the center and submit. But not today lah, any day.
Get out.
Or your parents can take a picture and then WhatsApp to the coach. That means every page must take a picture. Okay? Can?
Okay.
This one is the one you borrowed just now. Wow. It doesn't work. Means the battery finished. Okay, so you go home, ask your father to use a screwdriver to open. Inside here there's a AAA battery. So you just take another AAA battery inside. Okay? Don't need to buy new one. You just change battery. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mama. See you next week.
Bye-bye.